what directly is this? Like, what is this? What is this what happened? What? Oh my god. Welcome to Maniac Movies LLC. Like, share, subscribe. Blah, 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 blah. Resident Evil. Welcome to Raccoon City. Holy mother of. Okay, I'll stop doing the monster war gag. I stole it from It's a Gundam anyway. But still, this is. Oh wow.
Every story has a beginning. Discover the origin of evil.
Why are you back here, Claire? Your conspiracies weren't true when we were kids. They're not true now.
We need to expose Umbrella.
So I'm gonna go ahead and say Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City is a worst case scenario trailer. It fails on every level. It is just baffled. Baffled is the word I would use for how I felt after watching this trailer. This trailer playing behind me, this abomination, this crime against man and women. Resident Evil has female fans, who are apparently the only people this movie was made for, because this screams made for women, but there aren't a lot of female fans for Resident Evil. It's a primarily male property, so why'd they do that? This is just again, baffled. Baffled is the word I would use. Okay, so it starts out and we get some generic like voiceover crap, and we see the Raccoon City sign, and it's Claire Redfield kind of narrating, and then she like, your conspiracy. Chris is telling her brother Chris is telling her like, your conspiracies weren't true then, and it's like certain words I'm getting really tired of hearing in 2021, and conspiracy is definitely one of them. And they're doing this weird thing with this movie apparently. I don't know if this was filmed during the pandemic or right at the beginning of it. It was finishing up, because it feels like they're doing this weird like lab leak theory thing where she's watching the video of the guy. I think that's supposed to be her dad, and he's like, but I don't know, Umbrella's covering up, people are getting sick, and it's this lame ass looking guy. He looks like some old burnout hippie or something, but it's like, and then they assembled the team, and this trailer is very Claire Redfield focused. Kayla Scoladero, I think is her name. I think I've seen her in something, but it didn't make much of an impression, and she doesn't make any impression in this trailer either. Like, she's not good, she's not bad, she's just standing there. But so it's very obviously it's her movie, and her brother Chris kind of tags along behind her. We don't see a whole hell of a lot of three other iconic characters though. Wesker, I think I saw him for like 2 seconds. Jill Valentine, they're being real careful not to show too much of her, because people fucking hate it when you change races on a character. Just leave the character as it was created. Sienna Guillory, I'm probably not pronouncing that right, but she was like the best part of Resident Evil 2, because she was at least a good Jill Valentine, even though that wasn't a very good movie. But yeah, this just everything about this is bad. Like right off the bat, we see the Raccoon City Police Department, and the sign is. I mean, I'm trying to find something positive to say here. The sign, I don't know, but like the tanker truck crash is bad. It looks like bad CGI. It's very obvious they didn't even have the effort or budget or something to crash a goddamn 18-wheeler. It looks digital. It's just, the way it falls over, it looks fake as hell. Then they crash into the mansion after that, and at least like for 2 seconds it looked cool, because apparently they got the digital map, the original outline from the original game, and they built the mansion more or less 100% accurate to that. So like that's cool, and the mansion does look cool for 10 seconds, but then shit falls. The wheels go flying off the bus. It starts playing that song. I don't even know the name of this song. This song is like popular, I think, in the early 90s. I think I remember hearing it was a little kid in like grocery stores. This is grocery store music. It's this woman. It's a ballad. They're playing a ballad as over the trailer of Resident Evil. It's like, as I look through the morning, and then like, hey, yeah, what's going on? Like, I started laughing the first time I saw this trailer. Okay, 2 initial thoughts when I first saw this trailer. A, I started laughing like hell when they started playing that song. And B, I swear to God, I guess I kind of like just wasn't paying close enough attention when I saw the trailer drop. I was like, fine, listen, I know it's going to be terrible. We all knew this was going to be terrible, just like that show's going to be terrible. But I thought this was the show. This looks so cheap and so uncinematic. I thought this was the Netflix show that they pitched. I didn't even I would never have guessed that this was a theatrical film. It's just astonishing. It doesn't provide us with a single character, really. Like, I don't... the original Resident Evil movie, I remember seeing the ad for that, and that part where Mila Jovovich in that purple, like, evening gown thing, back-kicking a zombie Doberman, like, that was cool. When you see that, you're like, I want to see what that girl does in this movie. I want to see what the actress from The Fifth Element does in this movie, because that was cool as shit. This movie doesn't provide anything like that. You see friggin' Claire Redfield just kind of wander around in the dark, occasionally shoot a gun. The other characters basically do the same thing, only less. It's just... that song, too, man. Did someone just hit random on their Spotify playlist and whatever came up is like, okay, we'll put this in the trailer as a temp track, and then they forgot to take it out? It's just, holy shit. Because when the trailer ended, my thoughts were, because it gives that thing that fear is contagious. Great. I'm put a lot of effort into that tagline. I mean, I know they're trying to do this viral thing with the pandemic, but still. The CGI is terrible. The CGI looks like CGI from a video game. It does. It legit does. That's not even being, like, funny or anything. The special effects in the original movie, the first Resident Evil movie, and remember, the first Resident Evil movie wasn't bad. I'm not saying it was great, but it was pretty good to okay-ish. The sequels were worse. Each sequel just got worse and worse, and they were just terrible by the end. But the CG in the original movie that came out, I don't know, 2002? 20 years ago, roughly, looks better than this. It is astonishing. Like I said, I was confused at the end of this trailer. I was baffled. Baffled is the word I keep going back to. It's just fucking hell. Because I was thinking, who is this movie made for? Who is this movie made for? It's definitely not made for men. So I was thinking, young girls, maybe? Well, no, because then you wouldn't use a song from 30 fucking years ago. You'd use, I don't know, who's popular right now. I don't listen to pop. Dua Lipa? Isn't that girl's name? I don't know. Even Demi Lovato was kind of past her prime. I don't listen to pop music. But Billie Eilish. You play Billie Eilish if you were trying to get, like, young girls interested. So, no, you wouldn't be playing some 30-year-old ballad that their mom listened to in high school. So, it's not for young girls. And I was like, and it hit me, I was like, okay, this is for fake geek girls. And fake geek girl is not a gendered term, in my opinion. Because fake geek girl, like, Kevin Smith is a fake geek girl. Because he pretends to like everything. He doesn't care. He loves it. And then Masters of the Universe, when he did the animated Masters of the Universe for Netflix, Kevin Smith, the director famous for the Jay and Silent Bob movies, he did the Netflix Masters of the Universe cartoon revival that everyone hated. And he kept talking about, oh, I love it. And then people found old material on him where he said he didn't love it. But he's a fake geek girl. He just pretends to love everything, just so that fandom will embrace him. Because he's just has no fucking character or fortitude, or just that desperate to be liked. I don't know. But that's a fake geek girl. That's what I thought. Okay, this is for fake geek girls. This is for people who don't actually like Resident Evil, but want to pretend to, and so they throw together this trailer that looks like one of the Walking Dead spin-offs. That's what this looks like. This looks like one of the Walking Dead spin-offs. But then I thought, even then, like, why are the special effects so bad? This is a theatrical film. If this was going straight to streaming, I would have been like, okay, they just kind of cheaped out. But this is theatrical. It says at the beginning of the trailer, only in theaters, whatever else. It's making a point of saying it's not going to be same-day VOD, which a lot of movies are doing, but they're kind of moving away from because people are going back to the theater. Venom was a big hit. But, so this was a theatrical film. This was made to be theatrical. And I kept thinking, why? What happened here? And everyone's like, why did they bring back the people who made the original movies? Most people don't like the original Resident Evil movies. Then it hit me. I have it. This is my theory. This movie was made to secure the rights. Let me explain. Sometimes when a company holds the rights to a property, there's a clause in there that says you have to make a movie every so many years or the rights revert back to the original owner. I assume the original owner, Capcom, right? Capcom makes the games. whoever made the Resident Evil games. I actually think I'm wrong about that because it would have been Jap. I don't remember who owns the. Someone who knows more about the Resident Evil games than me is screaming at the screen right now. But so this was made because Sony was about to lose the rights to the Resident Evil franchise, so they had to make a movie. And they made the cheapest movie. They hired whoever was in the room that raised their hands when they say, "Hey, who wants a job?" That is what this is. Because nothing about this feels like Resident... Well, okay, I'm not going to say that. It does kind of feel like Resident Evil. It actually has more of a horror vibe than the original movie did. So I'll give you credit for that. At least it feels like a horror movie. And when I said that this is a worst-case scenario, not quite, because a worst-case scenario would have been PG-13. So it's not quite a worst-case scenario. It's 99% of a worst-case scenario, but not quite. So, but just everything about this is wrong, and tonally it's wrong, and it doesn't seem like any effort was put into it, and the special effects are cheap and bad, and there's no like star power in this movie. The only person in the cast that I'm positive I know is the Wesker, Neil McDonough. I've seen him in a lot of stuff. He's been in stuff going back forever. He's TV shows and movies. But yeah, it's just this. So that's my theory. I say that this movie was made by people who didn't care and just wanted a paycheck, and it was made by a company that just was trying to retain the rights. And this is the exact same thing that happened with the Hellraiser movies. That was the reason they would make a really cheap, bad Hellraiser movie, every 5 years or so, because they would have lost the rights if they didn't make the movie. But yeah, this is just bad. I think that 2021 we're seeing just franchises destroyed left and right. And this is another one. And, we got to grit our teeth and get ready for that next Indiana Jones movie and for that next Hellraiser movie, because they're both going to be god-awful. And that Resident Evil TV show that's going to be on Netflix, we all know that's going to suck. And this movie is going to probably be... I'm going to go ahead and say this is going to be the worst Resident Evil movie. As bad as the original Resident Evil movies got towards the end, I still think this will be worse. Anyway, I just had to... This trailer melted my brain for almost 36 hours. I saw it last night. I couldn't stop thinking about it. I had to kind of organize my thoughts. So, that's all I got. Good God.